Hello, welcome to the Field of Streams, where every week I, your host, Janeen McCrae, that's me, read a short piece of my writing to you so that you, mercifully, don't have to. It's quite the deal. Now, I can't promise you much with these missives, but I can promise you this. I won't keep you long. In today's episode, I riff a little bit. Well, is it riff? More that I go off on a bit of a tangent, inspired by Carl Sagan's text, Pale Blue Dot. If you're unfamiliar with Pale Blue Dot, let me read the specific paragraph that inspired what I'm about to read to you today. The pale blue dot that Sagan is referring to is, of course, Earth, as seen in a photograph taken by Voyager 1 in 1990 on its way to, well, wherever Voyager ends up. This is the text. Quote, "Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam." End quote. Ooh, shivers. Now the mote, M-O-T-E, not M-O-A-T, that's something entirely different, it got me to thinking about us, specks of dust, 8 billion-ish of us. I think it's like 8.1 billion or something. It's a lot of motes. A mote is small, but a mote, if we're using that to mean a person, can be big. You can be big. You are capable, little mote, of so much. All us motes, we have much work to do. We can do so much as people, as individuals, and as a collective. And that's what I wrote about. Janeen the optimist, feeling optimistic about us motes. Again, that's M-O-T-E-S, not the one you build around the castle of your emotion. And with that said, please allow me to read to you, enthusiastically and with conviction, a piece of my writing called Mote Work. A mote of dust, this speck of us. More than a pale blue dot in the inky black at the edge of nothing and something. More than the wonder held in the tenor of a voice as it raises our pulse and quickens our gulp. More than stark truth words, strung one after the other, arriving with succinct perfection to our ears. More or less. More or less. When we are less, that's the problem. Mere motes upon that mote of dust, looking only inward in our shame. We do not glance at the other, or when we do, it's for the singular purpose of brushing them from the screen of our radars, from our beam and out into the lonely void. Dust to dust, mote to mote, amen, and get out. The ugly dust of our feature film laid flat upon our world. This is our agency of record, a wicked story etched in the annals of our history. When we are more, we are the epitome of mote magnificence, award-winning. But when we are less? When we are less, we are lost and bold with it, afraid and blindly bluffing to all. Selfish and cocky, we represent ourselves to the cosmic court's jury, and the steno report shows it's not going well. 8 billion motes of what? Trouble? Is that all we are? misguided trajectories programmed with evil glee, squealing with delight at the unchecked cruelty. Satellites crash through our moral atmospheres with alarming frequency. Person particles, alive and dead, sometimes both at once. Specks, meaningless, trivial. The end. It's all so grim. Look around. This mote a scornful sermon, this one a war. This speck is a hate particle, viciously animated by the nearest wrong-headed conspiracy screed. A mote collective, united by maxims and cruel pocket credos, a vacuum bag of filth that morphs into a stony heart, concrete and rough. Where is love? The love mote, exciting and new. Where? The head is cut off the daffodil. Motes drift out, untethered from reality. See that speck? This mote? Those dust-busted brain atoms released to the world, seeking only banned bookshelves to live out their lives in outsized pride. It's the shame of the game. Caught in blinking disbelief, the grit stuck in our lids, there is no pearl to this oyster. We are the dust of ruin in a very pricey ointment. Poor communication, dishonourable relationships, bad faith arguments. Where is hope? Where is optimism? Where is the sanguine sermon in the church of our fractured humanity? Too much dust in the troposphere. Too many allergy motes, moving, de-evolving, getting smaller while growing large in storms of dishevelled fear. We are small people, motes building motes to protect our emotional empires, speckles and atoms and iotas of possibility gone awry, sullying the futures of baby motes, which are smaller and even more defenceless. But there you go, and here we are. Hello? Come on, motes. Get your shit together. Our insignificant significance is there to be bedazzled. Rise up with the emphatic cry of a hopeful crumb in the darkness. Be more, not less. In dust we trust. This is a directive, and not just a mote-inspired beat by the Chemical Brothers. More motes on heads of pins. More motes moving mountains. More motes not giving up. More. Look around. Motes build monuments. Motes make medicines and save other motes from despair. Motes write poetry that bristles with frightening emotional clarity. Motes paint using all the colours. Smaller than, larger from. These are the motes of hope. They plug into our lives to power the engine of invincible me and invincible you and them and they and us, the other. These tiny things, flawed and uniquely fallible motes of us, are caught in the trade winds of relentless humanity. Stands up to, sits down for, honours and defends. Imagines and refinances the mortgage of our very souls, invents new ways to do and to be and to live and to survive with each other, with ourselves, in the dark. Motes inflate the lungs of our love with the breath of yes, write sonnets and sing tributes while speaking passionately at our funerals, build and salvage and teach and grow. Look at something grand. Have your breath be extinguished in the sheer moment of its beauty. Have you seen the starry night? A mote did that. We are not destined to the fate of our worst mote's instinct. Pale blue dots, whole earths in the black. There is more than one mote suspended in a sunbeam here. Motes upon motes upon motes. From one mote to another, I say this. I'm just a biscuit, and I don't biscuit very well. Destinations uncharted and outcomes unknown, we simple particles, we crumbs of the possible, must leap into the beam and be caught for all to see in the sublime truth of our excellence. In this mote of dust, this speck of us. And there you have it, my fellow motes. Today's episode. Remember, ideas can come from anywhere, and if you're moved to turn that idea into something, do it. Not everything has to be perfect. Just make it and move on. I mean, that's what I do. This podcast and the writing it's based on, which is stuff from my newsletter called The Stream, which you can sign up for at janeenmccrae.substack.com, are the imperfect exercises I do to keep my brain agile and sharp. If you enjoyed what you heard, please follow this podcast or, give it a like or share it with someone. Sharing is caring. Thanks for listening. I shall now leave you with this. Love what you love, and I will see you out there making stuff.